welcome again. This is Sean with NSN Management, and this is part 2 of what I started yesterday. And I watched the video yesterday and I realized, wait, I didn't finish telling them everything about what actually an MSP is. So here we are today, and I'm going to talk a bit about really the second half of what an MSP really is. And just to kind of recap from yesterday, what I talked about was an IT department. And a lot of businesses have fully staffed IT departments, whether it's help desk or have a help desk. They have a server manager, network engineer, probably, maybe one or two, depending on their size. They may have an IT manager and they may have a CIO. And when a small business thinks of, well, I can't afford to pay for all those people, and that's 4 or 5 people. We may be 5, 6 people, and my IT department's 50% of my staff. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And you're absolutely right, it doesn't. And that's where the part of an MSP comes in. And what an MSP's job really is to do is to take on that role of an IT department. And so here at NSN, that's one of our primary goals. And my staff hears it all the time. We are their IT department. And often an MSP costs a little bit less than what a full-time staff member would cost. And we've had people talk to us about it and have said, hey, wait, but I can hire someone for the amount that we have to pay you. And I go, you're right. Absolutely, you can. Most likely, you can hire one help desk engineer, which is an entry-level position typically. And they can definitely help you set up PCs. And they can definitely help you fix Outlook or some of those little basic tasks. But here's some gotchas. They're going to get sick. They're going to go on vacation. They're going to want time off. They're going to need training. They're going to have the overhead costs that you're going to show. So you're going to buy them a PC. You're going to pay for all the software that they use to manage your environment. And pretty quickly, you add that all up and you're like, wait a second, it's costing more. And let's talk about that day that person gets sick. What happens? Well, they're not at the office anymore. And now what? They end up working long hours. Their morale may or may not be the greatest as it goes because they're constantly being bombarded, and they don't have a lot of time to do what we call as proactive tasks. And if you watched the video yesterday, and if you haven't, you can go check it back on Facebook. We even put it on LinkedIn. Is the goal of an IT department really isn't to fix stuff. It's to keep stuff from breaking and to keep the IT assets in great working condition. And so that anytime a user or staff member wants to work on their PC, get something done, maybe it's a project, maybe it's putting together a proposal, whatever, all the assets and resources are available for them to use. Well, if they miss that part and so they're down, well, back to what that IT person's supposed to be doing is they're supposed to be keeping those resources readily available. Well, if they're not in the office, or they're out, or they're so overwhelmed with what they've got to get done, they don't have time to do all the proactive tasks that should be happening. Making sure backups are in place. Make sure all of the security software is doing what it's supposed to. Doing the monitoring and the management of the environment. We often joke it's changing the oil in the car or rotating the tires because they're so busy just trying to keep the engine running, right? And so that's really what an MSP is supposed to do for a business is they have a full staff. And whenever you hire an MSP, whether it's us or anybody else for that matter, the job is to replace and be a full staffed IT department for your business. And that's really what they're supposed to spend most of their time doing. And, I know here at NSN, again, this isn't an advertisement for us. I mean, we obviously love your business if you want to, but we're hoping just to can educate people on really what about business and tech. So anyway, one of the things that we do as an MSP is we invest a lot in a lot of different software packages. One of the packages we talk about a lot, you hear them, is RMM, Remote Monitoring and Management. It's what allows an MSP or even an IT department to manage and monitor an IT environment, from everything from how the server health is doing to desktop health or the security patches being done. And some people will say, well, that they do it very manually and they go around. Well, the problem is say you got 15 PCs and Microsoft issues a new patch. That means you have to physically manage and go to every single PC and update those. Well, you can turn on automatic updates. You're right, you can. However, one of the dilemmas that happens in software is that sometimes a patch isn't that great. and it comes out and it doesn't work like it's supposed to. And so you have to uninstall it, and whoops, you've already missed it. Well, an MSP is supposed to do that from a proactive standpoint. It's supposed to test those, make sure that they get tested in a lab environment to figure out, hey, are these safe to actually be released? And a single person at a company probably really doesn't have that kind of time for the most part. So again, back to that MSP and all the things that they do on any given day are monitoring and managing the IT environment, making sure security patches are installed, is antivirus up to date, is the ransomware protection in, is the firewall taken care of, are backups actually happening? In backups, and we're going to have a whole video to talk about just backups for everyone, because backups are so critical part of every business, both not just backing up their data, but backing up applications and resources and even paper stuff. And that obviously we don't back up paper, but there are ways that you need to do a backup and disaster recovery, and that's a vital aspect of any IT department and MSP's job. So again, the MSP is really focused on making sure that your business is functioning day in and day out as it relates to IT resources. Now, that's just one part. Another part of an MSP's job or an IT department's job is to be forward thinking. I mentioned yesterday a little bit about a CIO and IT manager, and they think strategically, at least they're supposed to, about how the business can use technology to grow their business, to grow their profits, to grow the service they provide for their own customers. And a single person in an IT department at a small business, honestly, they don't have a lot of time to do that. A lot of my day, personally, is spent thinking about what does a small business need as it relates to technology, and how can I help our customers use technology to their advantage, whether it's Microsoft Teams or dashboards. And that's another great video I can't look forward to doing, is on which about dashboards and KPIs. And that'll be a pretty nerdy session for me because I love those things. But looking at how do we make a business more efficient through the utilization of technology, and also how do we make a business efficiently wade through all the things that are being thrown at them from the industries right now. So security is a huge topic, has been for the last couple of years recently. And there's a lot of providers out talking about, here's all the stuff you have to do to be secure. And while that's amazingly awesome, sorry, I'm going to get some of my coffee. It is coffee talk, right? And so there's my coffee. That's the one time I'll probably do it in the video, but what the heck. So security's been talked about a bunch in the marketplace, and here's all the stuff you're supposed to do in security. Well, there's also reasonable security. I tell customers or people that I talk to in the industry about it, and if I want to be 100% secure IT-wise, just turn the computer off and don't connect it to anything. Well, obviously that's not very reasonable, but you're 100% secure because you're not using it, and there's no way that anyone can breach something that you're not using. Don't use the internet. Right? That's very unreasonable. But there's lots of acronyms, whether it's the National Institute of Science and Technology, NIST, or all these other security platforms and protocols and roadmaps that people say that you should be doing. And part of a job of an IT department and an MSP is to wade through all those details and figure out, here's my business, here's my customer, what do we use, what should we be using, how should we use it, how do we keep our data secure in a reasonable format that my staff and team members can actually use the IT assets at their disposal. So, kind of wrap up, but an IT provider, MSP, you'll hear lots of different names for us, really is to be that full service IT department for small to mid-sized businesses. Now, some MSPs will actually augment existing IT staff to help out in parts that they can provide the most value to. Other MSPs maybe just outsource just the help desk, and they have a full staff that takes care of everything else, and just their staff members call the MSP's help desk. And there's lots of different flavors of how an MSP can benefit a small to mid-sized company. And so I just want to leave you with that when you think about an IT department and all the things that it should be doing for your business, it's extremely valuable. And a lot of times, an MSP can take that place for you, particularly if you're in the small to mid-size business size. And again, like I think I mentioned yesterday, to us, a small business is typically someone under 100 employees. and an IT department is needed, you have this very valuable set of tools available to you through technology. And how do they get used in your business? And we want to make it a well-oiled machine. So, hey, thanks again for taking some time with me today, and appreciate you. And but keep and watch. We're going to do these every day this year. Actually, let me back up. My goal is to get them every day this month, and we'll see, and hopefully keep doing it every day. So we'll start there, and be looking for us again for the rest of this week. And thanks again for watching. This is Sean with NSN Management. If you have any questions or want to have any questions about technology or how your business might utilize technology, feel free to give us a call. My number is 918-770-7400, or you can check out our website, www.nsnmanagement.com. I promise you we're a technology company, not a sales company. So we would love to talk to you and just give you some advice and see what you think and take it from there. Thanks again. See you.